Buddham 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 Vande Dhammam 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 Vande Sangham 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 Vande Buddham Dhammam Sangham Vande Samanta Cakkavalesu Atra Gaccantu Devatam Saddhammang Munirajassa Sunantu Sagga Mokkadam Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Sakko ujuja sujuja suaco chassa mudu anatimani. Homage to the Exalted One, the Worthy One, the perfectly enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends in the Dhamma, today we are going to discuss one of the qualities that we have to develop in our life, that Buddhism says it named like Sakko in Pali language. In English we say it skillfulness or proficiency. We always like to develop our skills, proficiency. You know, when we are in the schools and universities, we always want to improve our GPA. And also, when we go to find a job, we always try to find a very good job with a big salary. And also, when we are going to associate some people, we always find very kind, beautiful, educated, rich people. That shows our skillfulness. And however, especially as Buddhist followers, we should know what is the real skillfulness that we can create, that we can improve in our life. That is very, very important. The main goal of everybody is happiness. Our skillfulness depends on how far we are reach real happiness. Skillfulness, gradually, when it increases, then actually gradually our happiness should increase. That should be in our life. There is a very special discourse in Buddhism, always we recite it. When we recite some discourses, you know, Karaniya Metta Sutta, the discourse of metta, the discourse of friendliness. At the very beginning, Buddha says that as a person who wishes to become the peace of mind, and he has to develop these qualities. There are several qualities that we have to develop in our life, can be seen in this discourse. However, At the very beginning, Buddha says the first quality that we should develop in our life is sakko, or skillfulness. What is the skillfulness that Buddhism says that we have to create, we have to develop in our life? How do we find, how we can think that we have skillfulness? What are the measurements that we have real skillfulness in our life? And if we are happy always, if nobody can disturb our peace of mind when other things in outside change, if our mind doesn't change, if our mind is not unhappy, troubled, struggle, then it means we are happy, and also it means we have skillfulness. In this situation, we are going to discuss in several steps in skillfulness in Buddhism. The final goal of everybody is happiness. If we are happy always, and also if somebody can disturb our peace of mind, if somebody can steal our inner qualities that we earned in our previous lives very hardly, that is the real success. That is the real skillfulness. That is the true proficiency that we have. Especially, there are three defilements always disturb our peace of mind. I think always you have heard it, that there are three major defilements: lustful desire, anger, and delusion. As much as we can overcome these three defilements, it means we have overcome suffering. Simultaneously, it means we are happy. It shows our skillfulness. And at the very beginning, we practice some qualities to overcome these three defilements. I think you are very familiar with this information, that when we are going to overcome desire or attachment, we can practice several qualities. One of them is offering something to others, giving something to others, and also helping others. And on the other side, we can reflect on impurity of our body, physical body. We mostly have big attachment with the people because of unknowing of impurity of our body. If we can understand, if we are clever to comprehend about our impurity of the body, then we can overcome the big attachment or craving or lustful desire. On the other side, when we are going to overcome anger, we practice loving kindness. In this discourse, Metta Sutta, Buddha especially explains that if a person would like to achieve the real happiness, he has to practice loving kindness. If you don't practice loving kindness, it means we haven't started the path of liberation, the path of enlightenment. That is one of the things that we can understand, that we are on the path of purification, path of liberation. On the other side, when we are going to overcome delusion or ignorance, which disturb our peace of mind, and we have to listen to Dhamma again and again. We have to purify our understanding. Then we can understand how suffering arises and how we overcome suffering. That is useful, that is beneficial to develop our wisdom. Wisdom is the opposite of ignorance. And this is one of the things that we can find, that we can understand. We are on the path of liberation and also as much as we can reduce these three unwholesome defilements, unwholesome evolutions, then it shows our skillfulness. That is one of the things that we can understand that we are on the path of happiness. The next one is that, understanding of the world reality. What happens to our life? Then, what is our life? Our life is, if we see something through our eyes, if we hear something through our ears, if we have some experience, some smell through our noses, if we have some feelings through our body, if we have some emotions through our mind, the six senses, six internal senses and six external objects are our life. At once, only one sense acts. One sense is activated. The other five are not activated. At once, only one sense happens. One sense occurs. And also, when we open our eyes, at that moment, the forms are visible. Our consciousness are visible. All conditions are together as soon as we look at something. That experience arises at the moment. Then that experience doesn't come to present from the past. That experience doesn't go to future from the present. When we open our eyes, that eyes are impermanent. It means it arises at the moment. The physical eye has been coming from our birth to death. But the eyes that Buddha says, it arises at the moment. When forms are here, when our attention, awareness, consciousness, all things are together, we can see something. That experience arises at the moment. On the other side, when we experience something through our senses, the five aggregates arise at the moment. When we look at something, we should be intelligent to see that I experience five aggregates. When you experience these flowers, then you can be happy. Then through these flowers, we should be intelligent to reflect on the five aggregates. When we see the five aggregates are not outside. We see it inside. When we go to the mirror, we can see our picture in the mirror. We can see our reflection in the mirror. But we know very well our body is here. The reflection, the figure is here. That is why we never keep our hand in the mirror. When we want to clean something in our body, we never clean the mirror. We clean this side. And the reason is, we know very well, whenever we are going to the mirror, when we see the projection or reflection from the mirror, it means the thing is here. Similarly, if we are clever to understand whatever we experience through our senses, that feelings arise inside. Then we have no big combine or attachment with the things or people in outside. As soon as we experience something through our senses, we know very well that feelings happen inside. The material things have helped us, but the emotions, negative or positive, arise inside according to our volitions, according to our ignorance, according to our karmic law, according to our desire. The reasons are inside. The material thing is also outside, but through material things, if we have any feelings, the reasons are inside. If we are clever to see this reality, that is one of the skillfulness that we have. At that moment, we have no suffering. At that moment, even though we are in a very complex situation, even though other people have misbehavior, mistakes, we don't get angry. We don't worry. We know very well, whenever I am suffering, I worry, it means the reasons are inside. Conditions are here. Then, whenever I am unhappy with somebody or something, we know very well, the causes are here. The reasons are inside. Then, we don't blame others. You bring me worry, you bring me suffering. We never complain others. As much as we can see this reality, if we are unhappy, we complain myself, my mind, my vision, my understanding. When we are weak with this understanding, then we are unhappy. Then, if you have this understanding, it is also one of the skillfulnesses that we have. And also, when we see something, when we hear something, we know very well, we don't combine. We don't combine that experience to outside person or thing. For example, when you blame me, I don't bind your sound to your body. Because of you, the sound arises, but that sound doesn't belong to you. That sound doesn't belong to air. That sound doesn't belong to even my ears. That sound doesn't belong to even my consciousness. Because of these reasons, the sound arises, but this sound doesn't belong to anything. Because of conditions like this sound doesn't belong to my fingers. This sound doesn't belong to air or waves. This sound doesn't belong to my ears. This sound doesn't belong to my consciousness. But if I haven't these conditions, I have no sound. But the sound doesn't belong to anything. Because of these reasons, that sound arises, but it is impermanent and it has no ego. It is selfless. It is selfless, egoless. If we have this understanding, our complainings gradually decrease. Now always we are ready to complain outside. When we have problems, we always try to complain others. But as much as we have this understanding, we are shy when we are unhappy, because the reason is inside. Our vision, our attitude, our view, our understanding, our comprehension. Then day by day we are going to clean our knowledge. We are going to forward with this understanding, comprehension. Then we try to see the impermanence. And if we are clever to be successful in senses, that is one of the skillfulnesses that we have. skillfulness in senses. Buddhism it says as ayatana kusalata. Kusalata means skillfulness. We know in our country we say kusalana. Kusalana, a word. When we win something, we receive a word or cup. It says in Pali language, kusalana. Kusalana means skillfulness, proficiency. Then, if we are clever to see this reality, and if we are clever to comprehend this world reality, the word are received. The award is received by us, and we can win the match and be successful, be skillful in our senses, 6 senses. 6 senses arises at the moment. They are not permanent. They are not continuously going here and there. The eye always arises and ceases. Our ears also like that. Our nose, our body, our mind, everything is impermanent. It means at the moment with the condition it arises, and immediately when conditions are separate, the experience ceases. If we are clever to reflect on this impermanence, it shows our skillfulness, our proficiency. At that moment, we have overcome suffering. As much as we are clever to reflect on impermanence, we are clever to reflect on unsatisfactoriness, dukkha, or suffering. As much as we are clever to reflect on unsatisfactoriness, we are clever to comprehend about egolessness, anatta, selflessness. We have nothing to control in our life because of egolessness. If it has an ego or self, we have to control. When we are going to old age, we can control. When we have some sicknesses, we can control. When we are going to die, we can control it. When our physical body changes gradually, we can control it. The reason is egolessness. And also unsatisfactoriness. We can keep it in a particular situation. Then gradually it is going to change, whether we like or not. And if we can understand these 3 characteristics, 3 lakshana, anicca, dukkha and anatta, if we are clever to reflect on this impermanent, the reality of our life, this is the highest reality that we have to comprehend, that we have to achieve. When we have this understanding, these 3 characteristics are our close friends. Now they are enemies. When something changes, we are afraid of it. We hate it. We don't like it. When we practice Dhamma, we always see the impermanence through our life. We are familiar with impermanence. We are not afraid of impermanence. Like that, this is one of the skillfulnesses that we can develop in our life. It means at that moment, we have overcome suffering. And also, if you are clever to understand the karmic law, that is also very important in the skillfulness. Karmic law. Sometimes we worry when something happens to our life, when something cannot be controlled, we are unhappy. Actually, those things happen because of some kind of karmic energy that we have done in our previous lives. If we are knowledgeable about the karmic law, we can have a balanced mind. We can create a balanced mind among good and bad. blame and praise, receiving and lost. Among those things, Attaloka Dhamma, 8 things in 8 worldly things. Among 8 worldly things, we have a balanced mind. And especially, Buddha said, as an intelligent person, we have to reflect on the karmic law again and again. Kammassa komhi, kamma dayado, kamma yoni, kamma bandhu. Kamma, or action, and its results are our property. It is our relative. It is our real world. It is the Forerunner. Then if we have good understanding about the karmic law, we sometimes try to reduce some negative actions and results. And also we try to generate good actions. When we practice always higher meritorious volitions, good emotions, then we can overcome some negative results that we have done in our previous lives. Sometimes, even though we do some good deeds, we can control some result of our some karmas. Then we try to keep our mind in balance. We don't get worried or unhappy because of this understanding, the karmic law. You know, sometimes our children, our parents, our close relatives, they become some kind of bad situations. Even though they are our close friends, even though we do some good deeds, sometimes we can control them because they are also bringing some karmas. Those things happen because of their karmas. They are our children in a particular time. In previous lives, they were children of other people. In next birth, they will be children another person. And in a very particular time, they are our children. But we can control everything that we have, that they have. Then if we have this understanding with the karmic law, then we don't get worried. We don't worry when something happens. At that time, we are not unhappy. It shows our skillfulness. On the other side, according to Buddhism, we have to develop our intelligence. In one side, the understanding of the karmic law. On the other side, we have to develop the understanding of the dependent origination, cause and effect. Everything happens at the moment, arising and ceasing. This is the process of our life. This is the process of the suffering. Then if we can understand the dependent origination, it is also very useful to develop our skillfulness. And little by little, we are explaining some kind of steps how we can improve our skillfulness. On the other side, Buddha explains sometimes in Dhammapada, Susukang vata jivama verinesu averino. I am living without anger among the people who are angry. I am so happy. I have no anger among the people who are angry. We can be proud. We can think about our skillfulness. Other people are angry. When other people are angry, you can find yourself, you can find your mind. No, I am not angry. Although they are angry, I don't get angry. There are some people who are yearning for searching sensual pleasure. But we are not yearning for sensual pleasures. they always finding something to earn, catch. They want to catch something always. But we are in silence. That is also one of the skillfulnesses that we can find in our life. And also there are some people who are jealous. Among the people who are jealous, we are not jealous. We have no jealousy. We are happy when other people are successful. Then we help them. When other children get through their exams, we are happy, we bless them. We offer something to them. Then we are happy, we consider their success as our success. Jealousy also one of the illnesses that we have in mind. It is one of the mental illnesses. Then among the people who are jealous, I am no jealous. That is also one of the skillfulnesses that we have developed through our life. And when we discuss Buddha's message, in some levels, we can discuss some kind of merits and some kind of spiritual developments. At the very beginning, Buddha has pointed out the heavenly path. According to Buddhism, we can see heavenly path and deliverance path, Mokkha Magga, Sagga Magga and Mokkha Magga. How we go to a blissful life, like heaven realm or human realm. When we hope to go to a blissful life, Buddha explained that we have to generate 3 meritorious deeds. Dana, Sila, Bhavana. Generosity, morality, and meditation. As much as we can generate these meritorious evolutions through our life, it means we are happy. When we think our generosity, when we think our discipline in our speech and behavior, when we think our mental culture, that how you practice your mind to develop your mind, then we are happy when we think about our meritorious activities. Buddha said, practice in merit means practice in happiness. Merit is a synonym for happiness. Among the people who do evils, we practice merit. That is also our skillfulness. On the other side, Buddha explained the deliverance path, the Mokkha Magga, how to achieve enlightenment, liberation, Nibbana. For that, we should have not only the knowledge of karmic law, but when we go to the next level, we should have the knowledge of the dependent origination, cause and effect, impermanence. That is why always we discuss, that is very important. With the understanding of the karmic law, we practice 3 disciplines. The discipline in virtue, Sila. The discipline in tranquility, Samadhi. The discipline in wisdom. Virtue, tranquility, and wisdom. Mostly you have heard about Eightfold Path. The 8 steps of the Eightfold Path can be included into 3. They are Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Virtue, tranquility, and wisdom. Then as much as we can develop our discipline or virtue in our speech and behavior, and also we can develop our concentration with mindfulness, then it shows our skillfulness. As we always mention you that developing our mindfulness is our GPA. That is the real grade point average. Day by day, try to develop the duration that you practice meditation, concentration meditation, samatha bhavana, with mindfulness. Not only sit in meditation, but whatever you do, wherever you go, if you can do it with mindfulness, when you eat, when you cook, when you wash your body or clothes, whatever you do, if you can do everything with mindfulness, then you are in a meditation. Always you are in a meditation. Always you are practicing mindfulness. Always you are on the path of liberation. Little by little we are going forward on the path of liberation. That is also our skillfulness. And in various ways we can discuss how we develop our skillfulness. Finally, although there are a lot of doctrines that Buddha has explained in his doctrines, in his sermons, finally Buddha has explained we have to practice only two: samatha and vipassana, tranquility and insight meditation. Tranquility means focusing our mind on a particular wholesome object. With concentrated mind, if we are clever to reflect on impermanence, every moment my mind arises, ceases. My emotions, my evolutions, it arises and ceases. It is not impermanent. Always, if we are clever to see this reality, then we have no big attachment or we have no anger with anybody or anything. Little by little, we are going to the deeper level in wisdom. It means we are reaching the real happiness. It shows our skillfulness. The special thing is, when we experience something through our senses about something in outside, we should think, we should see it from our inside. As soon as we are happy through our eyes seeing something, we should know that this happiness arises inside. Seeing these flowers, the happiness arises inside. Happiness doesn't come from outside, it arises here. And if suffering arises, if suffering comes to me, it means the suffering also arises according to my vision, my ignorance, my attachment, my desire, my karmic law. Then always we try to correct inside. We don't try to correct outside. When we correct inside, then automatically everything is correct. If we want to walk on the floor, we can't cover the whole earth. We have to wear shoes which covers our feet. Then we can walk everywhere. Yes?
Could you please give some example of the situation that how we experience according to our common law?
Yes, for example, when you are here, when you are listening to Dhamma, you can understand, I received this Dhamma because of my previous good karmas. You can be happy. Not only negative karmas, but you can understand the good karmas that you have done in your previous life. You have a good figure, you have a good physical body, healthy body. You are intelligent. You had your good parents. All of these things that you received because of your good karmas that you have done in your previous life. That is one of the things that we reflect on the karmic law. On the other side, if we have some negative emotions, negative feelings to our life, then we can understand, I receive these things because of my some mistakes that I have done in my previous life or this life. It doesn't mean that in entire life we should suffer. Buddhism has pointed out how to overcome suffering. You know, there were some people when Buddha was living, like Kisagotami, she lost her only child. She was crying, but finally she met the Buddha, and after she listening to what Buddha taught and she practiced Dhamma, and finally she could overcome suffering. We should not suffer our entire life. We have a Dhamma, blissful truth. By practicing this Dhamma, Buddha has explained how we overcome this suffering. In some kind of levels, we can control it. Even though we have a lot of difficulties, problems, struggles through our life, if we are intelligent, if we know how the suffering arises, then we can overcome. There were some monks when Buddha was living. Although they were arahants, they had attained enlightenment. Some monks had some problems, like Bhante Losaka. When he begged food, he didn't receive anything because of his some karmas. But he was not worried. He was not sad. He didn't worry. He understood the karmic law. There were some monks like Sivali, Arahant Sivali, Bhante Sivali. Arahant Bhante Sivali received a lot of things because he has practiced generosity a lot in his previous life. Both of them, Losaka, Bhante Losaka and Bhante Sivali, both of them are happy in the same way because both of them had attained enlightenment. In the enlightenment, both of them are happy. In physical, even though physical things are different, they had no any difference. That is why when we reflect on karma, we can reflect on it in several ways. In one way, sometimes we can change some negative karmas by doing more important karmas. For example, when always we meditate, like loving kindness meditation, the contemplating on Buddha's qualities, the contemplating on impermanence, when again and again we practice the meditation, then it is very beneficial to overcome some negative, unwholesome results of our karmas that we have done in our previous lives. On the other side, when we say karmas, we mostly think that bad things, and also we always think that the karma that we have done in our previous lives. Actually, karma is not only that we have done in previous lives. Whatever you did in the morning, the evening you will receive the results. That is also karma. When you help somebody in the morning, in the evening you will receive something from that person or another person. That is also karma. When you laugh with somebody, he also laughs with you. That is also karma. That is also immediate karma. We should be develop the understanding of the karmic law. That is very important. Some people are crying, this is my fate, I can't change it. They are crying. Actually, as Buddhists, as the Buddha's followers, we don't cry when we receive negative results of our karma. We have an ability to change those karma, and also change in our attitude, our vision. We can change some results. And also, even though we can change the results, we can change our mental situation, our vision, our comprehension. Then the suffering doesn't come from outside. For example, when we see somebody, he has done you some bad thing. When you see that person, sometimes we get angry because he has done these things. If we can change our attitude, our vision, this person might be my son or daughter in my past life. This person could be my mom or dad in my previous lives. Even though he has done something for you, you can change your mind from anger to kindness. That is the way. And also, if we can reflect that person as this person, one day he will die. That is the impermanent thing. Then if we can think in the correct way, with intelligence, then we can change our unwholesome emotions. Then we can overcome suffering which arises in our mind. Buddhism always pointed out that how we overcome suffering, how we change our mind from negative way to good way, in the correct way. That is the very important thing. As much as if we are clever to correct our attitude, our emotions, our mind to the correct way, then we can control suffering which comes from outside. We are knowledgeable that suffering never comes from outside. Suffering arises inside. Then, whenever you are unhappy, be shy. I am ignorant. That is why suffering arises. Not only suffering, whenever you are happy, be sure that happiness also arises inside. Then both of them arise inside, according to our vision, according to our ignorance, karma, desire, attachment. As much as we go on the path of liberation, we create a balanced mind. We are in the middle among good and bad, happiness and worry. That should be our highest goal. Then, finally, if we are clever to reflect on impermanence every moment, then that is the highest skillfulness that we can create through our life. That is the highest credit. Developing our mindfulness and concentration is like our GPA. Reflecting on impermanence always is like our IQ, intelligence quotient. Both of them should be developed, should be increased day by day. And that is the real proficiency, that is the real successfulness in our life. Have you any question you can ask? Okay, we are discussing about the skillfulness that we can develop through our life. Finally, the Eightfold Path is our lifestyle. This is our lifestyle. Samma Ditti, right understanding, Samma Sankappa, right thoughts or right intention, and right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. As much as we are knowledgeable about the karmic law and the dependent origination, we do everything living in this path. Whatever we do, wherever we are, with whom that we associate, then every time, any moment, every moment, we are in this path. Even we are sleeping, we dream the Eightfold Path. Then, even in the dream, we reflect on impermanence. When we see something, when we have some things, we have some discussions, Dhamma discussions, we are doing some medicine, we are helping others even in the dreams. Then, it is like our breathing in and out. It is like our body parts. Practicing Dhamma should be familiar with our life, even with our physical body. That is why Buddha said, Dhamma is swakhato, Dhamma is well expounded. Sanditiko, visible results. Akaliko, immediately effective. Ehipassiko, anybody can say, come and see. And this is the nature of these are the qualities of the Dhamma. And when we live with the Dhamma, we are so happy. We give the priority, the Dhamma in our life. It means the 5 spiritual faculties gradually increase. Saddha, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Saddha means confidence or devotion in the triple gem. Viriya means effort to do good deeds and to overcome bad deeds. And Sati, mindfulness, Samadhi, concentration or tranquility, Panya, wisdom. Always these 5 things are in the upper level in our life. In our agenda, we give the priority to these 5 things. Other things are in the lower level. These 5 things are in the higher level always. We always think how I offer something to Buddha, something to Sangha, we always think. We are always living with the Sangha, Arhantas, some learned persons like, lay persons like Visakha, Bandula Mallika, Anath Pindika. We live with them mentally. They are in our world. We can meet them in our house. And also always we try to how I overcome this negative behavior, negative mistakes in my life. And how I develop my good deeds day by day. We think always. In the morning, we try to do some good deeds. End of the day, we think, today I have done these kind of good deeds. We are so happy. You can write something that you have done in the day. And day by day, we develop our schedule. And also, especially, we increase the duration, the time that we practice meditation. Not only sit in meditation. When you drive this freeway, you may think that I will practice loving kindness in this freeway. When I exit the freeway, then in the other surface street, I will practice Buddha Anusati. Then when you go home, until you go to bed, you reflect on Marananusati, the contemplating on death. And day by day, we change our agenda. While we are doing some things, as a skillful person, we try to develop our mind. When we are going to 100 miles, we can drive fast. It is not our skillfulness. While we are driving 100 miles, if we can practice mindfulness, loving kindness, impermanence, that is the success of our life. While you are driving, not only you reach the destination, but you have developed your mind too. Even though you are late because of traffic, you are not sad. You don't worry, because you have received the result of your time. You didn't waste your time. You can be happy. I have spent the time meaningfully while I am driving. From morning to night, if we can spend our time meaningfully with concentration and wisdom, that is our success. That is our skillfulness. Because every moment we are reaching the final destination, the Nibbana. While you are driving the destination of your house, your destination, you are reaching the real destination, ultimate destination, the Nibbana. That should be our goal. That is the real success. That's the real skillfulness that we can generate in our life. Then, even though we have some negative results of our karma, we don't worry, because we have developed our mind. Because of our mental situation, because of our good personality, with practicing Dhamma, nobody can disturb our peace of mind. Even though our close friends and relatives die, we don't worry, because already we have reflected on this impermanence. Then, not only we practice the Dhamma in that situation, before we reach that experience, we should practice this Dhamma. Then we are ready to face those difficulties, challenges. This is the time, this is the proper time that we can practice the Dhamma, because we have healthy body, healthy mind, we have facilities, we have good health. Using these facilities, if we are clever to practice the Dhamma, we are ready to face the problems which comes in the future. Our close relatives will leave us. Our mom, our father, our brothers, someday they will leave us. Sometimes before they leave, we have to leave. We have to say bye then. Then before that, we are getting ready to face that situation. Then because we have generated good emotions, positive thoughts, then we have a guarantee that my next life is better than what now I have. Therefore, we don't worry. We are happy to go to next birth. It doesn't mean that we are hurried to die. Day by day, we are collecting good emotions, good karmas to be successful next birth. And also actually, if I really in this path, on this path, Buddha said, if somebody can reflect on impermanence always, if somebody can live with 5 spiritual faculties, especially if a person can live reflecting on impermanence, that while that person is reflecting on impermanence, if he die, his or her death, enlightenment, and the end of the samsaric journey, all of them are together. While we are reflecting on, if we die, our death, enlightenment, and the end of the samsaric journey, all of them happen at the same time. This is the path that Buddha explained how to develop our skillfulness. Finally, our skillfulness depends on how far we have overcome suffering, how much we are happy. It is not just happiness that we have the real happiness. That happiness is without attachment, without desire. It is the pure happiness. It is boundless compassion, boundless love. It is boundless liberation. That's the real liberation. That is the real skillfulness. It means we generate our mind. We develop our mind, our spirituality. Okay, this is the things, these are the things that we wish to discuss. I think today we are going to end our sermon early, but we have discussed a lot. Okay. Now, because gradually you are going to be more intelligent, the sermon will be in short and we discuss only summary. That is the nature of our real education. When we are going to the deeper level, the discussion is very short and also it is very meaningful and yes, very deep. Okay, thank you for your coming. Thank you for your good attention. By the power of all these merits, may our departed relatives also receive these merits, and also may they enhance their spiritual energy and may they develop their life, and may they also attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to our beloved departed relatives too. Recite in this stanza. Idam me ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. By the power of all these merits, may guardian deities and angels, celestial beings also receive these merits, and may they enhance their spiritual energy, may they keep their eye on you too, may they attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's transfer these merits, guardian deities and angels too. Ākāsattā ca bhummattā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu sāsanam. Ākāsattā ca bhummattā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu desanam. Ākāsattā ca bhummattā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu tvaṃ sadā. By the power of all these merits, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no problems come to you, may no difficulties come to you. May your all righteous wishes meet with success. May all of us attain final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkham pantā ca niddukkha, bhayam pantā ca nibbhayā, sokam pantā ca nissokā, hantu sambhe pipānino. Dukin pelena sat, dukin medetvā, biyen pelena sat, biya neti vetvā. Sovinte venasat, somnas vetvā, nitin me hamasat, suapat vetvā. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May the triple gem bless you.